You guys are all back here. What do you notice that's different about me than most everybody else? Yeah,
You have a fake arm. Well, you don't have to have an arm.
right, exactly. I only have one hand and a little, like half of an arm, right? Because there's my elbow. And when I was born like this, my parents were shocked and sad, right?
Of course.
My mom said that when she found out the news, that it was after I was born, and she was in the recovery room at the hospital, and she said tears were coming out of her eyes because she was so sad. And she was worried. My dad was upset too, because they weren't sure how I was going to be able to do everything that I needed to do. Like, would I be able to get dressed? Would I be able to tie shoes? Would I be able to clip my fingernails? Would I be able to grow up and do all the things that you need to do? Because normally people do things with two hands, right? Have you ever tried to challenge yourself and just do something with one hand?
Yeah,
You have?
I tried it.
A lot of you have? Good, good. Well, I learned how to do lots and lots of things with one hand, and my little arm helps me a lot. You want to hear a funny story? This is so funny. I was in a store recently, just last week, and this older man came up to me, and he had problems. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am." He said, "Could you help me?" Well, I have to tell you that I had my coat on. He didn't know I only had one hand. He said, "Could you help me? Would you tie my shoe for me?" And I kind of looked at him a little funny. He told me later. But I said, "Yes, I can tie your shoe." I said, "But you have to sit down." So he sat down on the couch, and I got down on the floor, and I tied his shoe. And I said, before I tied it, I said, "I have to tell you something." I said, "I only have one hand too." And then he said, "Of all the people I asked the lady with one hand to tie my shoe." Isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
And he was going to tell his friends all about it. And I said, "Well, make sure you tell them that I actually did it." And anyway, that was just a funny little story. So I did learn how to do lots and lots of things. Most everything I can do. Would you like to guess what I cannot do? Yes. Okay, if you think of it, tell me. Yes.
Clip your nail.
I can clip my nails, yes, I can do that. What I do is I put the nail clippers, I have to be seated though, but I put the nail clippers on my knee and I use this little arm and I just push it down. That's how, yeah.
That's interesting.
That's tricky, right?
Because then
What do you think I cannot do?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
It's so true.
Play football.
Play football? I don't know, I haven't really tried a lot of football, but I can play basketball and baseball.
What?
What do you think I cannot do?
I'm
I
impressed.
can do
I do it all the time.
do hockey.
Do what?
Hockey. I know lacrosse.
Oh, lacrosse. Yeah, I don't know. Do you need two hands for lacrosse?
No, you
Little.
not necessarily.
Could I hold the
You
hand
hold
with
a
one
stick.
hand?
Yeah, but it's gonna be really hard.
Okay, I thank you. That was a good thought. Anybody else have an idea? I'll give you a clue. Okay, it has to do with eating. Something to do with eating. Someone who hasn't answered a question. Yes? Yeah, I can pick up a fork with one hand. Yes?
Cook.
I can cook. Yes. Yeah, cutting with, like, if you have the knife in one hand and the fork. One time I decided I'm going to really try hard to do this, so I took the fork and I stuck it in the meat. And then I held it with my little arm, but it was kind of pokey on my little arm while I used the knife. And I decided that was a little bit too hard. And what I do at home now is I use kitchen scissors. And if I have some meat to cut up or something, then I can use those scissors, and that works really well.
I thought it was sushi. Right,
Sushi.
doing chopsticks.
Chops, yeah, that would be a little tricky.
That's hard for anybody.
Yeah, you don't have to have one arm, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll get back to my story. As I got older and older and older and bigger, guess what? I learned how to do all kinds of stuff with my one hand and my little arm.
What?
But when I was 6 years old, do we have anybody here that's 6? You guys are pretty old. We do, okay. When I was 6 years old, I went to school and the school nurse told my parents that I should get a fake arm, a prosthesis. Now Isaac has already agreed to help me, so come on up here. And just stand right here by me, please. Thank you for being my assistant. And I want to tell you that before I show it to you what it looks like, okay? It doesn't look pretty like a hand. Come on in, sweetie. It doesn't have a hand, but it has something else.
You get it?
Guess what it has?
What?
Yeah? A hook. Yeah, like a claw, okay? And I actually have one, and Isaac's going to hold it so you can all see it. He already told me he wasn't nervous and scared about holding this, because it does look really different, right? So show them the hook. Can you pull that down so you can open it and show them how that opens? Yeah. So when I would get dressed for school, I would put a sock on my arm. My mom would help me when I was just learning. And then I put my arm, hold this up here for me, right inside of there. And then this strap, it went all the way around my back and under my arm. Why do you think I had to have this strap on there?
Because
Yes,
so it wouldn't fall off.
exactly. Because it's pretty heavy, right? It's kind of heavy. And so I learned how to make the hook open, not by having to do this, but by tightening the muscles in my little arm when I would squeeze them. Like you try that, make your arm muscles real tight, okay? When I would make those arm muscles, let me feel yours. Whoa, you've got some good muscles there, bud. Then that would open the hook. And I also could move the elbow up and down, the arm up and down at the elbow. Okay. Do you mind just going around and letting each table take a look at that, please? And then,
Thank you, Mom.
I got that when I was 6 years old, but when I kept getting new ones, why do you think I had to get new ones?
Because they wouldn't fit your arm.
Right, I grew out of the old ones. Like you have to get new shoes, I had to get a new arm. So, when I kept having to get a new one maybe every couple years. And then when I turned 12, is anybody in here 12? Raise your hand if you're 12. No 12-year-olds? Okay. When I was 12, I had grown out of my old prosthesis. I forgot to tell you that's what that's called, a prosthesis. Can you say that? Prosthesis. I'd grown out of the old one. It was time to get a new one. And guess what I told my parents? I said, I don't want to get a new prosthesis. I don't want to have a new arm. I just want to be plain, just like I am. So, guess what my parents said? He said, that's okay. If you don't want to wear the prosthesis, you don't have to. So, I put the prosthesis away, and I never used it again. Because I could do things so well with one hand and my little arm that my prosthesis actually got in the way. Thank you. You did such a good job with that. I appreciate your help. So, I did not wear a prosthesis for many, many years. And then when I became an adult, grown-up, I decided that I wanted to give it another try. So I went to the doctor, to the prosthetist, and I said I would like to get a prosthesis. And he said, okay, we can fit you for one. But I said, I don't want a hook. Because I didn't like the way that looked too much, right? And I said, this time I'd like to have something that looks like a real hand. Maybe something that could actually help me. And, let me tell you, you've seen those hands that really work and you can open and close. They can pick up things. Yeah, like a robot hand. Guess how much they cost? You're about to be shocked. About over $100,000.
What?
Yes.
A lot of money.
I am not kidding. So,
Did you get one?
no, I didn't. Oh God, it costs too much money.
Hopefully by next generation it'll get cheaper.
I think you're right. So I decided, okay, if I can't have that fancy one, I'll take another one. So here's my new one. I need a different person to be my helper this time. Who would like to help me with this one?
That looks like a real hand.
Why don't you pick one, Miss Julie?
How about makeup?
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
So what do you think of this, you guys? It looks pretty nice. You're not nervous about holding this, are you?
I am. It looks really creepy.
It looks so real. I think it looks so really
It looks
real.
creepy into that.
So over here, this time,
Well, I still want to look at the girls.
okay, listen everybody. The other one that I just showed you wasn't really mine. It was somebody else's, so I couldn't wear it. This one was made for me, so I could put it on. Would you like me to?
Yeah.
Okay. This is called a liner, so I put this on my little arm like that.
So it doesn't hurt. Yay, Micah. Whoa.
You're gonna help me, okay?
Okay.
You gotta put it on right though. There you go. Yeah, wait a minute. Let me show you guys something. Right here at the top, it's silicone. Feel it, Mikey. You can prove that it's kind of a sticky sort of, it's not really sticky,
So I
but
can
it's
stick.
rubbery.
Yeah, it's rubbery.
Yeah. Okay, so then I put my arm in here. Okay. Now I can bend it at the elbow.
Ah.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna let you pass it out in a minute here. You just sit down until I give it to you,
Are
okay?
you
Where do you-
able to move
This-
it by yourself without using a hand?
This little wire, I'll tell you about it. This little wire, see right now, oh, the arm won't stay. If I want it up here, it just falls. So if I want it to stay here, I pull this wire. Listen carefully. See if you can hear it click.
Oh, I heard it.
Yeah,
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, now it stays where I want it. And I can pull this down. Then it's not as noticeable, right?
No. But it's kind of different skin color. Eh?
Yeah, but I bet if you walked in and you saw Miss Gigi from, a few feet away, I don't think you would know, would you?
Yeah, it looks pretty realistic.
I think it looks
Yeah,
really
oh, I like
good.
that word. Who said that? Realistic. Nice.
Yeah, I think it can run more.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks normal from here, but if you actually told us and you took it off, then I would know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But if my dad were to walk in or anyone else that wasn't here at the time, people would think
They wouldn't even notice. I think you're right.
I know, I see it. Yeah, it doesn't
So, it looks really pretty, right?
Yeah.
But do you remember how I told you that I use my little arm a lot? Remember I told you that?
Yes.
With this on, I really can't.
Yeah.
And this doesn't help because it doesn't move. It just stays like that all the time. If I wanted to move it, there's actually some really thick wires in here. I could actually move it. Like if I wanted to point, like if somebody was talking in this room and I wanted to point at them, I could actually bend the finger like that.
But
Okay?
with
But I'm not
your
going to
real
point at
hand,
anybody because
with your
everybody
real
thinks
hand, you can
I'm
actually
listening and
point.
doing such a good job. So if I want to clap, I can do that. I can't really fold my hands because I can't get the fingers apart. It kind of hurts. So I don't do that. But there is my arm. Now I'm going to take it back off and come on back up, Micah. I don't normally wear this ever. Well, I can't say ever, but once in a while. Okay. See if you can get it on. Now you just kind of, you don't pull it real hard. You have to kind of work it. Hold it up like this. Because think about my arm is coming off. There we go.
Oh.
Thank you.
Is
Now
it
you can
heavy?
take it around.
Can you
you
get
can-
heavy by the end of the day,
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for sure. Yeah. There. Feels much better. It would be like when you get home from school and you take off your shoes and socks. It feels good, right? That's how it feels when I would take my arm off.
It's so
It's more comfortable.
gentle.
So I always roll my sleeve up like this
It is a crap.
because I use my arm a lot.
It's a special one, so you'll see.
I want it. Is it
Those are robotic arms.
no.
And it's like, and it's like,
No.
Miss Julie, again, when should I stop?
Maybe you have 10 more minutes?
Okay, or
Oh,
less.
that's
Yeah.
cool. You put a bracelet on. It's wearing a bracelet. I didn't get this. You took a picture.
You can feel it.
I think that's cool how it's wearing a bracelet.
I know, the forearm is kind of soft like that. Feel it.
And you want to look at one?
Okay.
And guess what?
You can hand it to them. You can pass it around. Just be careful with it, okay?
They made a star.
Friends, I have something really important to tell you, so I need everybody to listen. Even though you're passing the arm around, do you think you can still listen and not talk? Okay. I think you can. So when I was a little girl, sometimes kids would tease me and they were really mean. Have you ever seen that happen?
Yes.
Like they would point to my arm and say, ew, like I don't want to play with you because you just have one hand. How do you think that made me feel?
Sad.
Right, sad. And like, maybe people didn't like me. And kids now, they still look at me and they wrinkle up their nose. Thank you. So if people were looking at you all the time and going, ooh, how would you feel about yourself maybe? Isaac?
Sad.
Yeah, you're right. So it made me, after it happened so many times, then I thought, wow, there must be something really wrong with me because people must not like me. There's something wrong with me because they are always looking at me like that. But that wasn't very good, was it? Because who made me?
God.
Yeah, who made all of you?
God.
Right.
Our moms.
So every mom certainly had a big part in it. But God is our creator. He's the one that made that baby grow in your mother's womb, it's called. And all of us, God created each one of us special. He made you just the way He wanted you to be with your personality. So you could share the love of Jesus with other people. He's given you gifts so you can help people. Just like Isaac, who came up here and helped me. And how all of you have a gift from God that He wants to use, or many gifts, to help others in His kingdom, right? So it's really important to think about how you treat other people, to be kind and loving. And I tell kids, if you're curious about my arm, just smile, come up and ask me. And I like that, because then I can show them how I tie shoes. They think that's really cool.
How do you tie shoes?
Well, you know what? I don't have a shoe. Maybe somebody...
Oh, I have one. Here,
All right, I've got one. Thank you for all the volunteers, but this one will work.
Yeah, thank you for all of your shoes.
Guess what? I think it's going to be stinky.
Okay, everybody watch. It's not stinky. Okay, you watch it.
took a shower when we were down with the trip before.
So my little arm is helping me. Make a loop there.
How long did it take you to learn how to do that?
I don't even remember learning. Do you remember learning how to tie your shoes?
Yeah. I never knew how to tie shoes. I think it's right there now.
Thanks. And I like to make a double knot.
I'm 7. To make sure. I'm 10. That's how you know my mom has always had.
That would be so
My family.
if I had died that this whole body.
Here's the expensive.
Here you go.
I can't tie my shoes like that.
Man, it's always, what's your lips?
So I can do lots of things. There's only a few things that I can't do, like we were talking about cutting meat. I can't do that very well. But most everything, I can drive a car. Do you have any questions about things that I can do? Make sure you're asking me a question. Yes?
Can you paint nails?
Yes, I can.
What?
The same way, like I told you, did I show you how I can do clipping my nails?
Yeah.
The same thing. I would dip the polish or dip the top in there and the brush, and then do it like that and pick it back up. Just a little between my arm and my knee. Okay? Yes.
Do you only paint one hand?
Yes. I don't paint the nails on my prosthesis hand. Yes? Okay.
Can you drive a motorcycle?
I can ride a bicycle, but I probably could if
But
I
really,
wanted to. Yes.
It basically
What was the hardest thing you
Wow, that's a very good question. What was
You
the
guys,
hardest
listen
thing?
up. This is a good question Maddie had. Can you say it a little louder, Maddie?
It's hard bicycle. DJ.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing that was impossible. Monkey bars.
Hardest thing to do at school.
No, because you only have one hand and you need 2 hands and like
Get to the next rung
Monkey
on
bars
the
are
ladder.
no,
I can't do it like, we had what we called monkey bars. It was like a big rounded thing of wire, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Bars. I could do that, but I couldn't do the other one, the horizontal one like a ladder. I couldn't do that.
No, you could do that. It's easy. All you gotta do is jump and then catch them one, then jump.
Have
catch
you ever
one.
tried it?
With one hand?
Catcher?
It's probably really
I tried it
Never
once
tried
and
it two
failed
hands.
badly.
There's like a
I think I would fail badly too.
There's an easier way. So like if you want to climb a ladder through that and use your
climb a regular ladder. That's not a problem. It's the, is that what you call it, monkey bars?
Yeah.
When it goes across there?
Yeah.
Like a ladder, a horizontal ladder. Yeah. Yes, I said.
Can you play dodgeball? And catch?
Yes. Oh, I can play the piano too.
Yeah, she's very good.
I take piano.
Pretty easy with one hand.
Well,
Yeah, she uses both hands.
I use my elbow to help me too.
It probably is easy to do it because when it you are doing the right hand.
So she plays, that's her on her website.
You have to use
Oh, you want to show that?
Right.
I wonder